Hey everyone, welcome to this tutorial on how to use Graphica3D, a featureful application for visualizing 2D and 3D maths. In this video, I'll be guiding you through the basics of the application, including how to create functions, expressions, and variables, along with customizing the way the plots are shown on screen. First, let's get started by creating a line edit. To create one, just click the plus button at the top. Now you'll see a box appear when we can begin typing. For any math notation that you like, you can just go to the virtual keyboard here. Graphica3D supports 8 different function types. Going to the Help tab, we can find examples for each. For 1D scalar functions, the notation is in the format f of x equals or y equals, but the function name and variable can be anything. On screen, you'll get a 2D visualization of the function you've just inputted. The color of the plots can be changed just by going to Settings and picking the color that you would like. If a plot is too tall, it can be scaled down with scale mode or cut down with cutoff mode. For two-dimensional scalar functions, we have 2 inputs and 1 output, representing the height. To rotate the plot, hold down, left click and drag. To move the camera, hold shift and drag. And to zoom in or out, hold right click and drag. To define a variable, just type its name and the value it's equal to. Then we could put in an equation and adjust it to see the plot update as that value changes. For 3D scalar functions, we have 3 inputs and 1 output. By default, they are represented by contour plots, and we can adjust the color map and data points to make the plot look nicer. We can change the representation to volume slice, where we can drag a plane around, showing us what's going on inside the scalar field. For vector fields, you can visualize 2D or 3D fields, but let's say you have a pretty complicated function. A vector field might not make it easy to see what's going on. And by changing the representation to flow, you can interact with the field and see its integration paths from a source. Parametric surfaces have 2 input variables and 3 output functions, separated by commas and contained with angle brackets. We could go ahead and make the plot wireframe if we wanted to, and we could also adjust the ranges so that we just see half the torus. Graphica3D allows for visualization of 2D and 3D parametric equations. They have 1 input variable and 2 or 3 output functions. An example for a 3D parametric equation would be a helix, where we could use variables to adjust the radius and frequency. Let's say you have something that you're working on and you need to come back to it later. You can go to File, Save As, and then pick a location to save a file. Then later on, you can import that file and carry on from where you were. Now you should have everything you need to get started with Graphica3D. There are many more features that Graphica3D has, but for the sake of keeping this short, I've just talked about the major ones. Remember that this is an initial release and improvements will be made in future updates. A link to the Graphica3D website along with the contact email address is in the description.